Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Nasrat Hamdard, and today's topic is antivirus policy for endpoint security in Microsoft Intune. So we'll be discussing what is an antivirus policy and how can we gonna create an antivirus policy in Microsoft Intune. So we will be going step by steps how to create it and assign it to a group of devices. So the first thing is we would like to explain that what is exactly this antivirus policy in Microsoft Intune. So Intune endpoint security antivirus policies can help security admins focus on managing the discrete group of antivirus settings for managed devices. Antivirus policy includes several profiles. Each profile contains only the settings that are relevant for Microsoft Defender for endpoint antivirus for macOS and Windows devices, or for the user experience in the Windows Security app on Windows devices. The antivirus policies are found under Manage in the Endpoint Security node of the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Antivirus policies include the same settings as found in Endpoint Protection or Device Restriction template for device configuration policy. However, those policy types include other categories of settings that are unrelated to antivirus. The additional settings can complicate the tasks of configuring antivirus workload. Also, the settings found in antivirus policy for macOS aren't available through the other policy types. The second thing we're gonna explain is the prerequisites for antivirus policy. So first, for macOS, any supported version of macOS, like this antivirus policy can be applied to any version of the macOS. For Intune to manage antivirus settings on a device, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint must be installed on that device. The second platform is Windows. For Windows, there is no additional prerequisites are required. And the third one is who can create antivirus policy in Microsoft Intune. Normally, when you log into Microsoft Intune Admin Center as an Intune administrator, you have the full permissions to create an antivirus policy. But sometimes you don't have these rules assigned to you, then we have another built-in rules inside of Microsoft Intune, which is Endpoint Security Manager. So if you have this Microsoft Intune built-in rule assigned to your user accounts, you will be able to manage the antivirus policy profiles in Microsoft Intune. The third way is there are some custom rules. So you can create a custom rules which has permission of create, update, and delete for endpoint security tasks. Then you will be able to create this antivirus policies. And we have like different kind of antivirus profiles for different kind of platforms. For example, for Windows, we do have separate profiles for Linux, for macOS. So for all these platforms, we have a separate and different profile. So there are some kind of antivirus profiles. And even for Windows devices that are managed through Configuration Manager. The first one is for Linux. So there are two profiles for Linux, which is the first profile is Microsoft Defender Antivirus, which manage antivirus settings on Linux devices. And the second profile for Linux is Microsoft Defender Antivirus exclusions, which manage settings for Microsoft Defender Antivirus that define antivirus exclusions for paths, extensions, and processes. The second platform is Mac OS. So for Mac OS, we have one profile which is manage antivirus. Okay, there is one profile which is antivirus, and this profile manage antivirus policy settings for Mac OS. When you use Microsoft Defender for Endpoint for Mac, you can configure and deploy antivirus settings to your managed macOS devices through Intune instead of configuring those settings by use of .plist files. And the other platform that is more useful, which is Windows. So there are different kind of profiles as well for Windows. For example, the first profile is Microsoft Defender Antivirus, which manage antivirus policy settings for Windows devices. Defender Antivirus is the next generation protection component of Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. Next generation protection brings together technologies like machine learning and cloud infrastructure to protect devices in your enterprise organization. The Microsoft Defender Antivirus profile is a separate instance of the antivirus settings that are found in the device restriction profile for device configuration policy. Unlike the antivirus settings in a device restriction profile, you can use these settings with devices that are co-managed. To use these settings, the co-management workload slider for endpoint protection must be set to Intune. The other profile is Microsoft Defender Antivirus Exclusions, which manage policy settings for only antivirus exclusion. And the other profile name is Windows Security Experience, which manage the Windows Security app settings that end users can view in the Microsoft Defender Security Center and the notifications they receive. The Windows Security app is used by many Windows security features to provide notifications about the health and security of the machine. Security app notification. Okay, so security app notification include firewalls, antivirus products, Windows Defender, Smart Screen, and others. And the last profile is Defender Update Controls, which manage update settings for Microsoft Defender. So these were all the profiles that we have right now in antivirus policy in Microsoft Intune for different kind of platforms. And after this, we will be creating, like practically, we will go through Microsoft Intune Admin Center and we will be creating an antivirus policy and pushing all these policies to a group of users or a group of devices. So we are here in Microsoft Intune Admin Center now. Let's make an antivirus policy. So for that, we need to go to Endpoint Security from here. And then here under Manage, we have this antivirus. And here we have AV policy, antivirus policy. So we are creating a new antivirus policy from here. As we have discussed that we have different kind of platforms, which is Windows, macOS, Linux, Windows Config Manager. So all these platform has their own profiles. For example, in Windows, we do have these profiles. If I select macOS, we do have these profiles. And the same for Linux, we have these profiles. So right now I'm going to select Windows because we are creating an antivirus policy for Windows devices. We do have these options, different profiles for different kind of purposes. You can go through Microsoft documentation. There is like a brief descriptions for each profiles and how you're gonna use it. For now, I'm going to create a Microsoft Defender antivirus policy. Create. We need to give a proper name here. So I'm going to create for Windows devices. I'm skipping the description for now and next. In configuration settings, you will find all the settings that is needed to apply for antivirus policy for endpoint devices. So you can select as per your requirements, which settings you're gonna allow, which settings you're gonna block. It depends on your requirements. For now, for me, I'm just in just give you a hint. You're gonna find a complete descriptions for all these options, that what exactly these options are, like which kind of functions these options can do. You can find all these information in Microsoft documentation. And even if you click here, they will provide you some, for example, some more information. For example, this options allows or disallows scanning of archives. If you want more information about this one, so you just go to more, and you can find like more detailed information about this in Microsoft documentation here. Okay, so I'm just selecting, okay, allow archive scanning. Yes, I'm gonna allow this one. Allow scan the archive files. Okay. Allow behavior monitoring. Yes, I'm gonna allow this one. Allow cloud protection. Yes. Allow email scanning. Allow full scan on map network drives. Yeah. Allow full scan removable drive scanning. I'm allowing this one. Okay, it's deprecated. I'm skipping allow scanning of all downloads file and attachments. Of course, why not? Allowed. Allow real-time monitoring. Yes. Mm, allow real-time monitoring. Okay. Allowed. Is allowed. Allow scanning network files. Allow. Allow scripting. Yes. Should be scanned. Allow user UI access. Okay, I'm leaving this one. What else? What else? Disable catch-up quick scan, enable low CPU priority, enable network protection. Yep. Okay, it should be audio audit mode. It's fine. Real-time scan direction. So nope. I will leave the rest like default. Okay, threat severity default actions. Remediation action for high severity threats. Okay. Well, I will leave the rest not configured. So it depends on your requirements, which kind of settings you're gonna allow and disallow. It's up to you. Once you have set all these settings, then you can just go ahead with next. And here you can select your scope tags. For now, I will just leave it like the default one. If you have more scope tags, it will be visible here, but right now I don't have any scope tags available in Microsoft Intune Admin Center in my tenant. And then next. And assignment, you need to assign to a group of users or a group of devices. For me, we have this Intune user. So there are multiple, almost 6 users, and it will be applied to these users' devices. And then next. And this is the last stage, which is save. So I have successfully created the policy, and here's the policy. When I click here, you can find some more information, detailed informations. For example, with to how many users it's applied successfully. If there are any errors, it will be showing here. Any conflicts, not applicable, in progress. So you will see all this information here. And the same device assignment status, like you will see all the devices that this policy assigned to those devices. Per setting status, it will show you the status per settings, like which settings are applied, which settings are not applied. And you can modify the name, included groups, and you can add excluded group as well. Here you can find like the settings that I have enable or allow for this antivirus policy, and you can edit it from here as well. And if you would like to delete it, you can delete it from here. Okay, so this is how we can create an antivirus policy and assign to a group of users or a group of devices. We have some other things here, which is unhealthy endpoints. If there are some devices or endpoints that are unhealthy, then all those devices will be listed here. And the same active malware, if there are any active malware in endpoint devices, you can see all this information here. In the summary in here, you can see all the full summary for the policy you have applied to endpoint devices. So this is how we are creating an antivirus policy to endpoint devices. Thank you very much for staying till the end of the video, and just subscribe my channel for new upcoming videos, and thank you very much.